we're back. After a 3-hour drive up this morning and a 3-hour drive back tonight, it has been an absolute blast. We've had a great time at Partizan today. Well worth that journey, I think. And again, we're blown away by what we've seen in that there. The tables, the amounts of the traders, the people, everybody there, everyone enjoying themselves. What do you think, Jamie?
Oh, definitely. It was an absolutely fantastic show. It was a good myriad of traders and games there. Like the games on display were phenomenal. And the people around the show were saying it's the most packed one they've had, even pre-COVID. It was, you could definitely tell.
Yeah.
There were definitely a lot of people there.
Yeah, and it looked like everyone was enjoying themselves. There was, when you walked around and that, there was pockets and groups and that of people chatting about the tables, chatting about what they're doing for their hobby or what they need to go and buy next. You could hear all these little conversations and that, and it was really, really cool. And one thing I do want to say, a huge thank you to everybody that come up to us and had a good chat with us and that, and thanked us for what we're doing on our channel. We do respect that, and we do appreciate your sentiments. And again, it was great meeting you all in face-to-face in person and that. So again, huge thank you. So, show itself. The programme, again, I think it was printed up by Wargames Illustrated, and Wargames Illustrated print, that's really, really cool anyway. So yeah, really, really good. Love the layout of what they've shown. The layout of the actual show itself. So again, it's very similar how they lay the show out every time we've been. So again, if you're a regular in that, you sort of roughly know where you want to go around. But if you're new, you've got the demonstration games up in this sort of darker green area here. You've got a large zone here. Again, Rich, Nick and all the boys and that and all the team. Fantastic games going on there. And down the bottom here, you've got the participation games. And there's a myriad of games that you can go in there and play and get involved with. And then around the outside, you've got all the traders in the sort of like the lighter green area. So again, it's packed in there with what you can do. The hall is lovely, it's well lit. That's one gripe I've got with Salute. This in Partizan is well lit. And again, it's got loads of doors that you can open up and get air flowing through as well. So
and fans blowing everywhere.
Fans were blowing everywhere as well. So again, it was quite cool in there. So it is a really, really cool place to be. The figure for the early Partizan show, get there. And we'll show you there. And the one for the other Partizan later on this year is there. So that'll be a nice little set together. So again, if you get a chance to go across to Partizan later on this year, do so. It is well worth a visit and you won't be disappointed.
So here we have the Colour Forge sprays. Now, a lot of people have been talking about these and fresh on the market. I know Pete down in Entoyment, he said he was looking at getting a stand.
Well, we seen them last year there at Partizan, didn't we? And we were sort of and now, and they were just coming through then, or breaking through.
I know a lot of people, it's been building up and now. And we thought, well, why not? Let's give them a go. Fantastic colours. So we've got the white bone, the raven black and the ghoul grey. Now these are what was quite handy when we went to there, because obviously we were still fresh to these sprays. We didn't really know much about them.
I mean, we've used all the GW ones before, and we've used the Halfords primers, not the grey and the black, and they're very, very good.
But as I was saying, like it was a fantastic display they had on there. And what was really helpful was when we went to the stand, they had a banner up that would actually match the colour to the Citadel colour. So for example, the white bone here, it was literally the same as the Wraith bone. And what the guys behind the stand were saying is they've actually colour matched it to the paint that Citadel does as well.
Oh, that's
whereas sometimes with GW sprays, their sprays don't match their own colour.
No.
Sometimes. And here we have the Raven Black. Now, this isn't the exact same as the Chaos Black spray that GW does. It's more like Corvus Black, but we think that's a better paint to use as a black anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's less harsh than that, and I think, you know, it's a more defined black.
Exactly. And here's the Ghoul Grey, which is the same as Grace here, so it gives you quite a cold finish when you're doing your painting and that. But they were £12 a can, or we got 3 for 30 quid. So saved a little bit there. So it was a little show offer they had on. But these cans are 25% bigger than a Citadel can, and they're flat rate £12 across the board. So it's always good, because sometimes when you go to places, like especially if you want a metallic spray, they can be very expensive. But he was saying that these are £12 across the board no matter what spray. And he's also looking at doing some technical sprays such as varnishing, which is going to be very good.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So we can't wait to give these a go and try out some bits, tell you guys what we've tried with them, and see how we got on with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so keep an eye on the channel with that.
And next up, we have a couple of dry brushes from ABC Brushes. Now, I've been painting a lot recently, and a lot of my painting has actually been dry brushes, so all my dry brushes are knackered. So what better place to pick up a couple of little brushes just to keep it going. So here we have a 316 brush, flat head. I for the bits I've been doing, I prefer flatheads. I know sometimes you want to use the sort of rounded dry brushes. I know that Mel uses them a lot, but for me it's flatheads for what I'm doing. And we've got a 316 there and a 1/8 there.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the flat brushes, I think you can get when you dry brush and edging and that, it makes it a lot easier, I think. But I've seen some videos.
It depends on what you're dry brushing.
Exactly,
So, like, you know, I know that Mel's been painting up a lot of like Beasts of Chaos. She's got some Gorgons and that. So doing the flesh now, round one's actually a bit easier.
Yeah, it is.
But where I'm doing it's more sharp bits. So
yeah, so that's got the brushes.
A couple of brushes.
So next up, then we have some ready-made bases by Gamers Grass. We've got these through Stuart and Mark over at Great Escape Games. Great guys. We're busy painting up, as we've heard us say on the channel, and that 3 fantasy armies, AOS armies, to take up to Warhammer World later on this year, which will tie into the Partizan show as well whilst we're up there. And I've thought to myself, well, I quite fancy different bases. Yes, I know I could probably do these bases like this, but I want to be lazy. I want to get this army done quickly, so I'll base them up quickly and off we go. So we've already done some on the channel, and if you scroll into our Facebook page, scroll down, you'll see some of the beasts that we've used with these already. But yeah, I really like these. Really cool. And I wanted that. I didn't want that pure sort of snow look. So when I come up to do the mammoths, that type of thing, they'll obviously be on the bigger bases and everything. So yeah, I wanted that to be sort of a cross between the sort of snow and the sort of like a rocky sort of outcrop and that. Yeah, really love these. They're all resin bases, and what I'll do is I'll put a MDF base on the underside. Again, so if the figure drops or anything like that, you've protected the underside of that resin, so it won't hopefully chip. So yeah, really, really cool. Then next up, then we've got some round 2mm MDF bases, some 40 and 50mm. Got these from War Bases. Always good product and good service from War Bases and that. So yeah, always try and support those guys where we can. And as I said earlier, with the resin bases for the Ogre army we're doing, these are what's going to go stick underneath, and again, that will hopefully help protect the bottom of the bases.
And the cool thing is you're going to be getting some custom bases done for the other sizes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the other, as you can see here in front of us, and that we love going to Arengate Scenery. See them at lots of shows that we go to and that, and they always produce some quality product, all 3D printed. And as you can see here, there's a lot of market stalls. That's because we want to use these for a multitude of periods that we're doing or going to be coming up to doing soon. We have a Lion Rampant Crusades project that we'll be doing soon. All the figures are all based and they're all undercoated, ready to go. We're just in the middle of doing some other bits at this moment. But we wanted some market stalls for that, and we think these were really, really cool. These will also work well for Gangs of Rome or any sort of gaming period where you want that sort of...
Star Wars as well, especially if you did like
exactly.
a high street
in the cantina areas and that. Yeah, it's like in the bazaar areas. Yeah. Well, they'll work for anything. So we just want to do some generic sort of stalls up and then paint up some miniatures and that we can just stand with them in whatever setting and that we want. So, and that's what we got. So we've got various sort of stores, fish stores, cheese stores, carpet stores, butchers and spices. And then we've got some various sort of pots and that to go with them. And again, the quality of the printing and that is really good. It's the bakery. And this one here, we got the old fruit and veg. So again, really, really cool. And again, if you're doing your World War II or anywhere you want to sort of a shop or anything like that, these sort of bits and that really do add in, sort of give it that sort of bit of character and that. There's your sort of stores, quite simple to go together. I think Little Legion Steve, he got some a little while back and that. It's what gave me the idea because he was doing a project up. Yeah, really, really cool. Do like these. So yeah. You'll see these on the channel. We'll put these together and that, and we'll get them up on the channel soon. So next up then we got some 3 blisters from the Perrys, all American War of Independence. We did a bit of a clean-up, tidy out, sort out, various sort of stock rooms, covers that we got here. And we stumbled across a 28mm American War of Independence sharp practice project that we'd started. The British force is mainly done anyway for playing. These are just going to be, I'll show you in a minute, these are just to add in. So what we got here, these are just some add-ons and that. Some Queen's Rangers from Perry's and that, always really nice. Most of my original stuff is Wargames Foundry. So again, designed by the Perrys, and these fit in perfectly with them. So again, if you're looking at sort of wanting some different miniatures and that to fit in with different campaigns, then Wargames Foundry, obviously designed by the Perrys earlier on, fit in well with their own miniatures they do now. Yeah, like I said, so all Queen's Rangers here, and I say, these are foot dragoons, sorry, yeah, meant to say, yeah, 16 foot dragoons, which I've got the mounted version. Just wanted some dismounts for them. So that's be a sharp practice force, and we will get those together, and we'll again show you on the channel soon, along with the British force that we've done and the Continentals. So next up, then, back with war bases again. We noticed that Little Legion Steve, he had on his last video, he bought some animals and that, some chickens and bits and pieces and that for his Barons War project off of war bases. And I thought, yeah, that's great. I didn't realise they did all of that. So again, popped along and we picked up some bits, didn't we, Jamie?
Yep. So we've got some rabbits here. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, really nice.
Just adds a bit of character to your tables, doesn't it?
But again, going back to what we were saying about with these market stalls and that, it just gives you that little bit of extra depth and that immersion and that, yeah.
So some pheasants there.
Yeah.
And some red deer here.
Yeah, I like these red deer. Really, really nice.
And here we are, one final thing. Thanks to Ian from Flags of War, we have the Fighting Irish Clan for Board Wars. I love these figures. As you can see, Mel and Lee have got some bits done up, and I thought, well, I've got to join in somewhere, haven't I? Yeah, I've got to find something.
Yeah, obviously from the Irish roots, from being my mum's side, my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So that's all really cool. So again, you can sort of represent that with those, and these are beautiful miniatures. It's a great game. If you haven't played Border Wars yet, it's well worth playing. It's a fantastic game. We love it. It is definitely character driven, and we love that narrative and that you can create with it. And talking with Ian today, he was talking about getting together with the campaign system, where you each take on a family's name, and you're trying to sort of strive for that being the best and that. So that really does sound cool. So here we are, and there's the clan unboxed, and like I say, lovely miniatures and that. Comes with the bases and that for your figures and that, which I do like, and that when you get the bases with them and that. It's not a problem, but it's just nice. That's that little bit extra touch, doesn't it? I think you can
get the pack and it's out the box, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got everything you need. Just need to paint them up. Job done.
Because 9 times out of 10, you might be 125mm round base short, and it's like but you
back to war bases.
Back to war bases. But we'll start off on that. We've got the cards over here, and as I quickly just go through the cards to show you and that. Obviously, your characters and that. They are again the cards, the printing, the artwork. Superb. Everything is really, really, really cool. And that with this. And we love it. We love the game. As I said, back the Kickstarter, and we're really pleased that we did. And that's obviously all your rules on the back end of the cards as well. We always sleeve up the cards, so these will be sleeved up to protect them and that. But yeah, those are really nice. Okay, so first up then we've got the Chieftain. Hope that comes in okay. And the detail on here is really nice. Very sharp. Lovely moulding. Oh, what I do like about Ian's figures and that, there's very little cleanup to do. Again, that little bit of flash there just to protect the scabbard of the sword. There's nothing. Really, really nice. And again, another thing I like as well, sockets to fit your arms and that in. So you've got a good purchase in that when you come to super glue and that. Over the back here then we have, now you notice is this horse, a couple of legs you've got to glue on. Again, socketed up into there. Really nice. Not much cleanup again to do. Sharply casted. What do you think, Jamie?
Ah, beautiful models. You can't fault Ian's stuff. It's so nice.
And this is, we've got 3 Gallo class and that in here. Again, look at that. Look at the chainmail on that. That's really, really nice.
It makes it so much easier for painting as well.
And dry brushing over the top of that. Yeah, really pick that out. Again, really nice. So that's that. And
we've got one with a sword here.
Yeah, it's got to straighten up a little bit, but yeah, it won't be a problem. That's where he's been in the packet. Lovely details. And another Gallo class. Again, got to put his arms on. Yeah, look at the facial detail there. That's really, really nice. The expressions and that. Really nice. Yeah, cool. And then you get 5 kerns. So again, these guys, sort of sword, spear, troop types, really nice. Love them. The archer. They all look. What I like is the cloth, the cloak, everything.
It's actually draping down.
It flows as you would emotion, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. It always adds a bit more immersion to the figures when you're on table.
I mean, look at this guy here. I mean, that is cool. That is a lovely looking miniature.
Yeah, someone's clothes wouldn't sit straight all the time.
No, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, look at that. He's bellowing her. Go on, get him. Really cool.
Got a javelin chucker.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, love them. Love these miniatures and that. Can't wait to get these on the table, innit, mate? And then we can have. You've got your own set. Mum and I have got our sets, and really cool.
Job done, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's fantastic stuff, and huge thanks to Ian for getting these out and putting them to one side for us.
He
to
was
pick
talking today about he's received some master molds of a whole lot of new figures for the Border Wars. So keep an eye out on his website, on his YouTube channel.
There's more to come.
Yeah, exactly. There is a lot more to come. So yeah, keep an eye on that, guys. Well, that's it. That is Partizan loot haul for us today. We're totally exhausted, mate.
It's just immense show, though. Like, honestly, if you guys can get down to the other Partizan later in the year, I think it's one of the first weekends in October, make sure you get down to it. It is fantastic.
We have one more thing to show. So finally then, we bumped into James. James sells Shackles and Sprues. He was running a game along with Gary and Alex, club mates from, I think it's the Sheffield and Rotherham Wargames Club. Again, then a lovely Napoleonic Grand General d'Armée game going on. I think when we spoke to them and that, it was not going too well, or as well as they expected on one side, but the opposite side was, and it was a really good mash-up in that of the game and that. So yeah, and it looked like the centre village and that was really contested in that on both sides. So yeah, really cracking game. But James, thank you, James. He sort of bumped in and said, I've got something for you, Lee. He said, I know you're doing American Civil War, and he very kindly gave me a couple of blisters. So we've got some Crusader miniatures, ACW and shirt and Kepi's marching. Got a couple of those. So that was very kind of you, James, and do appreciate that. And it's actually funny because I said to you, I've got a unit where I'm a few figures short of, so that will help me make up another unit. So thank you very much, James.
All quality stuff. And he also gave me a Space Marine Primaris Intercessor. Fantastic stuff. I'll probably be using that for Wrath and Glory, the RPG game, because it's always handy to have miniatures. I like having a miniature whilst you're telling your roleplay story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really cool. Again, I like the base on that one as well. That's quite a nice base, and that be ideal for the Wrath and Glory and that.
Exactly, it's inside and that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So yeah, like I said, guys, a huge thank you to you guys, for giving us these, James, and great to see your table and chat with your mates and that. Really cool. And that's it. That's our show. That's our loot. We're totally exhausted. We're going to have a nice cup of tea now, probably a sandwich, and have a shower and go to bed because I'm absolutely exhausted. But we did take a few pictures, and we'll just tag a few pictures on at the end. There are myriads of them going around on Facebook at the moment. But these are just some of the highlights of our show and that we had today. We would have took more, but we just got busy talking. That was it. Yeah.
Every sort of 5 steps, somebody comes up to you talking, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No, we love talking to you guys.
Yeah, we do. Love talking to you. Huge thank you again for coming up and supporting the channel and everything else. And we do appreciate everyone we've seen and loved all your tables and that. And hope you see you again soon. So, without further ado, signing off now. Thanks very much and happy wargaming.